Hi, welcome to My Messy Fingers. We are working on Graphic 45's Curiouser and Curiouser collection. And I really want to thank Scrap and Create for having sent this. It is a beautiful collection. I love all the working parts and the pieces, and it's going to be fun trying to create something. I really hope I do this collection justice. But for the outside of the album, I want you to grab this piece of paper. We're going to use a good portion of what's on here to embellish the outside of the album. What we're going to play with is this piece, this piece, this card, this cutout, these pieces, and this piece across the bottom. I think that's it on the front. And then this big cutout, we're going to use the card that's up here in the upper left corner, which happens to be this. So this is what the front of the album is going to look like. This here is from the 12 by 12 patterns and solids. This one here is from your 8 by 8. Now I've mounted everything onto red because I want it to kind of stand out, and then I've pieced it together. The album we wrapped in black. So I'm going to put down a red, it's a nice cherry red, dark cherry red cardstock in between the black album and the collection paper so that everything pops. I'll show you if I can pick this up without destroying what I've got created here. So it's going to sit in here like so. And I am shifting things. It kind of loses its focus when you're moving stuff around. So when this comes on here, you'll see when it comes together that the red cardstock on the outside does allow the collection paper to stand out on its own, and it's not blending into the black cardstock. We're going to play with the flower, so you'll get that out of your ephemera pieces. I've already pre-glued mine and I've inked it just to save some time. And like I said, I've matted everything except for these. And the butterfly is on some foam pop-ups. And we're just going to replace this butterfly that's sitting right there. This piece here is out of your ephemera. I think that pretty much covers it for the front of the album. On the spine, we're going to use a piece of this scrap, and it's going to come on in here, and then this is where those 4 postage stamps are going to come in at. Now these I put on pop-ups, so there's a little bit of depth to the spine. And then on the back piece, this piece here is coming out of the patterns and solids off your 12 by 12. This is the other card off of the sheet that we built the front with, and this is the bottom piece here that I told you we were going to play with. So I've matted them both, and they're just going to sit back here on the spine like this. Okay, now you're welcome to pause this at any time. I get it. As I watch others' videos, I get it. I've had to do it myself. All right, so let's put some things aside here. I don't want to tear that up. I don't want that to fall apart yet. I don't know why, I just don't. All right, so for this being a 9 by 9 album, I have cut my red cardstock to 8 7/8 by 8 7/8. And we're going to go ahead and tape it and put it in. And I am going to use some 1/4 inch tape. We'll get this on here and we'll just start to build the outside of this kind of it. Whoops. Oh, we're going to need some red ribbon. So that snag was a nice reminder. I'm going to use red satin. You can use black. You can use gold. There's even a beautiful dark green in this color palette. You can use white. You can use any color you want, but I am going to use red satin. And then we're going to put one down in the middle so we don't get the air suckies with this not being secured. Okay. We're going to give ourselves a nice little burnish here. Now I did mark this, that it was the front piece and this was the top. Oh, wait a minute. Goodness sakes, Charlie. This was a reminder. But do you think I remembered? We got to put the ribbon on first. So I'm going to use some 1/2-inch ribbon or 1/2-inch tape. And I'm also going to come in at about 4.5 is going to be my center. And that's where I want to put the ribbon. Just enough to secure it, but I don't ever bring my ribbon my tape all the way to the end, because as you're working that ribbon back and forth, open and close, tie and untie, I don't want to see gooey sticky ribbon showing out from underneath, or gooey sticky tape from outside underneath my ribbon. I am so tongue-tied. This one's straighter. Okay. Let's go ahead and let's get, now this ribbon strip is 18 inches long, so you want 36 inches. I usually cut long, then I tie my bow, figure out how much room I'm going to need for expansion, and then I'll cut the tails. But I put about 2 inches here, 1.5 to 2 inches. Now I'm going to turn this around. And I'm going to do the same thing here. Don't like this, and somebody told me I burn my edges in order to keep them from unfraying, and somebody mentioned a product that you can use, and then I lost the comment. So if somebody wants to send me a comment on what I can use to add on here to keep the ribbon fraying, I would greatly appreciate it. That would be so wonderful. All right, so let's go ahead and you know what I want to do? Nope, I'm fine. I'm going to square this up top to bottom on the right-hand side. All right, now I'm going to peel my first layer. I'm trying to keep this together so I'll remember what it is I did. And I do apologize, but I forgot to ink this edge. I don't like white edges, so if you'll bear with me. I think there's a couple of them here I forgot to do the edges on. Okay, now I need to play around with this, make sure I've got it going in the correct direction, because believe it or not, there is always a cutting difference, and I think it goes this way. Yep. All right, so this is going to go down here, and I'm going to tape this because it's large enough that by the time I get over here with the glue, the other half is starting to dry out. And then one here. Okay. Kind of got it positioned where I want it, so I'm just going to hold on to it, peel that off, and then drop it back down, and then I'll start taking the rest of the tape off. All right, so now the 8x8 piece that's going to go here, this was trimmed, and I forgot to ink it too. Oh, this was trimmed to a 7 5/8 square, because I wanted to leave a nice edge so this paper would pop out here. So if you'll excuse me, I'm just going to really quick using a walnut stain from the Tim Holtz's Distress ink line. I thought it would be a nice, great, bold brown. Help pull out some of the golds in this. All right, so this is going to go right here. So I'm going to center it, and I'm going to glue this one. There's not so much here that I can't glue it. The side I'm gluing is the smaller side of the 12x12 that we played with. Okay. I think I got that at about as centered as it's going to get. All right, so then next came this card. Now I kind of want to piecemeal this back together, because there was a certain strategy that I had here. She's going to come over here a little bit more. This card here is going to drop down below the Harlequin here. I think that's what you call that. These guys are going to go up above a little bit. The word Curiouser and Curiouser is going to come right across the top. Here's my butterfly. These are from the ephemera, and this is Adventure. Oh, you know what? I want to put that on some pop-ups. quick and easy. So Adventure Time. And then this little row of hearts, I'm going to pull it off the edge just a little bit. The same with this one, it's going to come off the edge just a little bit. And then we're going to put the rose petal down here. May end up covering Alice just a little, but I want to be able to get all the elements in here. All right, so that's what I've got. I am going to start with this piece down here, the two pieces up on top. They're going to be the easiest to place and keep everything in line with them. So I wanted to come right through here, and we're going to just drop off that page a little bit. I want to pull her down just a little bit more. And then this is just going to drop off that edge just a smidgen. And then follow the diamond line. Beautiful. So I think I can kind of figure it out from here. I know it sounds silly, but once you get a pattern in your head, you don't want things to change it. I even took a photo. I wanted to make sure that I placed everything back where I wanted it to be. Okay. She's going to come in just a hair. I want to balance him, in between these two items here. That's the Mad Hatter. It's a him. And then Alice is falling. There are a lot of characters in Alice in Wonderland, so I wanted to try to represent them all here. And not just Alice, even though she's the main character. And then this is going to come down here just a little bit off the edge. And I'm not lining it up here. I want there to be some change in that direction, if you understand what I'm saying. All right, now this is going to come in right about here. I want some of that gold to show in between the elements. Okay. If I can get these peeled off, I'm going to attach the butterfly. I'm just going to replace that one that's right there. Add a little bit of height. And then the Adventure Time out of the ephemera. And then this is just going to kind of offset right here. Let's get it over just a little bit so it's even. I'm purposely not trying to cover up the gold underneath. And then we have our flower. And we're going to cover up Alice a little bit, but we've got her right here. So put the flower right there. And then last but not least is Curiouser and Curiouser. And that's just going to go right here. Standing up to look at this, see if it needs to be lifted a little bit. Okay, that's our front. Wonderful, I like it. I might, you know, I'm tempted to take some glossy accents to her hair right here just so that I can't make it flaming red as she's falling there. Okay, so let's, once again, I forgot to ink. We're going to glue this on. I saw a pen, there it is. My pencil mark. Okay, we're going to glue this down. Now, what I'm going to need to do, because these gusset rolls that are right here, they kind of create, to me, a little bit of misinformation. It's hard for me to actually see how where the spine lies unless I lift this up. I'm going to put this down, pull it into place, and then I'm going to straighten her out. And then this piece, lots of stickies on this. Bear with me while I'm over here off to the side, peeling them all off. Okay, and then we're just going to center this as best as I can, looking at it from an angle. All right, yay. Okay, so next up is the back. So I'm going to set this to the side for just a moment. And I don't think I inked this, so bear with me one more time. So much quicker to do it this way, and then I can spread the ink around. And I'm sorry I've got this up in your face, but it's what I do sometimes. I don't get it. Anyways, all right, so this is going to go on here. Like so. And because of its size, I'm going to go ahead and use some tape to adhere it. This backside has a beautiful, soft, shadowy, floral pattern. I don't know that you can see it on the video, but once you've got the collection paper, it's quite pretty. It's very subtle. sure I've got this the right side. Okay, so that's the way that goes. I've got it sitting on there. Pretty square, so I'm just going to press my hand to keep it in place, and then I can remove the rest of this. But I have a pencil mark right there I can see. Okay, so let's balance this a little bit in between. I want to leave it so there's a little bit of black on each end. And when I trimmed this, I trimmed it from rows to rows, just so that you know. And then I just put it on red cardstock so that it would fit. So when I set it on the cardstock, I want to see a little bit of red, not a whole lot. It's actually more than I wanted to see that I trimmed that, but it's okay. It's okay. And then the teacup. Or the teapot, I should say. All right. Next up, installing this on the back of the album. Get some tape on this. One in the middle. Okay. Bring this toward me just a little bit. I'm going to pull this off. And then I'm going to square it up on my left. And then put it down. Down here I have just a little bit of a tape overhang. I'm just going to tuck it back. Okay, I really like how that turned out. Very lovely. And then there's the spine, and we've got our back. Awesome. All right. I will see you when we start building the inside of the album. So until then, bye-bye.